Good evening, everybody. Good night, or no, good evening, I think is what you say when you say hello.
Talking Dirty
with Maestro.
Not just numbers,
not just stats.
it's about what they mean.
I'm going to send to you the information.
Talking Dirty.
Hello and welcome to Talkin Dirty with your boy. Me. What's up, fam? How you feeling? Great weekend SimWorld prep, as always is. So we get right to it. Our tournament last week showed us a lot, and kind of not surprised. I remember talking about the Trays being the best prep team in terms of having already played a tournament weekend, so they kind of knew what to expect. They kind of knew what they were going to go through. They kind of knew what they need to deal with, and it showed by winning, getting to the finals in one, winning in the other. The play of Brandon Crawford was really standout throughout the day, and the Trays did exactly what you thought they were going to do. They built their entire format around the movement of Brandon Crawford, Colin Storm, Ethan Alexander, and Caden Spencer showed up in a big way in the latter two games, and that is the sort of play that you would get when you're playing so many games in a row. You would get big performance going down to small performance, or small performance as they get more comfortable to big performance. You want that player that can stay right in the middle, be consistent, to give you that what you need each game, because that's how you're going to pull out the win. The Trays definitely did that. The Heartland Zombie Stars did a lot better than I thought that they were going to do, and I don't mean that in a negative way at all. It was just the first game was so close. It was such tight competition against Africa, and then to come back and win the way they did in a tough game later against Showtime, I believe it was, who had already proven that they were capable of putting up big points all day, that they were able to survive that with the likes of Nick Brewer, Caden Cook, Isaiah Orleans, who was very solid throughout the day, just being right where he needed to be and how he needed to be there. And of course, the work of Justin Zhang. Sorry, Justin. But when you have that sort of talent working toward that ability of, you see them start to find themselves, I'm going to put dollars to donuts that as we see them progress throughout these tournaments, once they found their center, that those games are just going to keep getting better. Other honorable mentions, I'll just say this out the way. I really wanted to see more from Tyreek Watt. I really did. Witness work was also someone that I found myself going, man, he could do so much more. He could do so much more. I don't know what else was going on. I'm not going to say that any other in terms of performance, but it felt like something needed to happen up here to allow their minds to catch up to where their bodies are going to be and play. And there's nothing wrong with that. We all have days like that. And Showtime, with the work of Jarvis Bradley, scoring big, and of course the work of Terrell Coleman and Sol Evans, it just kind of showed you that when you have your big players that can do what they can do, and then you get the performance of Emilio Torres, who was outstanding, by the way, even though in the one game that they played in terms of the semifinals and finals, I mean, so consistent, so comfortable. Hopefully that's going to be a jump off point for those athletes that will allow them to press forward as the rest of the season progresses, and definitely going to see their stock improve and grow in all of them. So well done, guys. And we have another tournament coming up this weekend, and I guess we'll talk about that on the other side.
Thank you for listening to the Maestro. Want to get involved? Bring it.
Drop in discord.gg/SimWorld Hoops.
If you have the brain, join as a coach. If you have the game,
join as a player.
See the game, be the game.
game.
Now, back to the Maestro.
Sorry, we'll be right back. Okay, we're back. And welcome back to Talkin Durty with your boy. So the tournament upcoming this weekend, Appalachian Basketball Championship. This particular tournament has a few teams that I really am excited to see because of what I feel their routes to the semifinals and finals game is going to mean, because they have similar talent in terms of the core scoring element, but they offer something else when it comes down to the bigs, right? So we'll start with DMV with River Mira and James Anthony Brown, who have found, I think they're finding their way in order to play together the way two cats of star talent can do. And yes, I'm calling it that. What I really like to see is, though, how they're going to balance their game out with their very athletic bigs, because they have three. Most people only have two, but they have three. What's good about that is, are they going to run a two-man game? Are they going to run a four-side triangle game, utilizing one of the bigs, or not two of the bigs rotating to give that movement that you want in the offense, depending on how they're being defended? And if they're going to be able to translate their defensive game, because both have Brown and Mirror have great hands, that they're going to translate their defensive game into the offensive game that their team is going to need. On the other side, looking at like Southeast Select with Dexter Jackson and KJ Hills, they only have one big. So these two cats are going to have to find a way to balance that mid-court game. Now, they both are great slashers. They're both able to move to the bucket, but they also have the ability to score from the mid-range or the extended range when it's needed. I have a feeling, depending on how their defensive game goes, they're going to have to find a way to do that this particular weekend. I believe they can do that. I believe they have the base principles in place in terms of how they're running their offense, in terms of what's being said. We're just going to have to see that kind of suss itself out over the weekend. The Beasts of the East have quite a few players, and I think they're kind of in my top pick of teams that are going to have something to say about how this weekend is going to turn out, between Jordan Belmont, Malachi King, and of course Losi Thomas and Hahan Waterhouse Jr. Those four players alone offer enough challenges for any other team to try to defend, because Beasts of the East, I think, are the one team that, like the Trays did before, can run their offense off of their defense, can move back and forth in a way that will allow them the flexibility. It doesn't matter who's out front and who's behind. They're athletic enough to defend you and also run you to the rim to make that sort of pay off, and make a challenge, because if you get the wrong matchup, I think Beast of Beast can make you pay for that. And lastly, a team that I've always found myself pulling for, and I always feel like there's something else. There's another gear left, and that is the Queen City Kings. This year with Taj Journey, Andre Shiftworthy, and the other talent that's around them, I believe that there is a good enough look at their franchise. I'm saying franchise, I don't mean it in a pro way, but I mean in terms of the talent that they have as a team, to center around like their athletic movers. And that's like a cat like Marco Jacobs, by the way. And of course, there is the X factor at Xavier Bryant. I think there's enough there where, quite frankly, not having the true big in the sense, I think they can athleticize everyone. And if they can keep their game on the move and moving the way that I believe that they can, they're going to be one of the teams that the other teams are going to find themselves chasing this weekend, and find themselves kind of falling behind. So that's what I'm thinking about. That's what I'm looking for this weekend. Holla at your boy. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you're looking for out of these teams and out of these players. And, just, hey, man, let's have some fun. It's going to be fun coming up this weekend. Can't wait to see you guys there. And, I was just thinking about this the other day, just trying to be cool with it. But I think it's something I really, really want to see happen. And, I wish my socks would giggle when I put my feet in them.
Like, I need to talk to somebody.
Thank you for listening to Maestro.
Thank you again for checking out Maestro. Drop a tag below and give us a piece of your mind. See you next time.
Well, thank you for your time. Have a wonderful day.